Hello, world. Welcome back to the Otaku Brothers podcast. My name is Joseph, your co host, joined by my lovely, incredible, amazing, funny, hilarious co host, Ben.
Hello.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to episode 110 of the Otaku Brothers podcast, where we talk about anime, Japan, and our boring, depressing lives occasionally. We got a great episode for y'all today. It's going to be a fun time. Lots to talk about this week, finally. And I'm very excited, Ben. I'm happy to be back here in the studio with you. It's a good time. We're going to have a lot of fun discussions today. But first of all, I want to give a shout out to everybody and just say thank you all so much for the love and support. You guys have been crushing it. We're at 213 subs. We're already crushing it, Ben. Our goal's 350 by the end of the year. I don't know. But to be fair, January is already almost over, and I'm nervous. It's coming to an end. It's already coming to an end so soon. And yeah, before we get into everything, guys, just some life updates and stuff like that. I mean, right now, I don't know. I said life updates. I was gonna just say that the Bills just lost to the Chiefs and choked, and I'm very depressed, Ben, because now I'm going to be having one of the worst Super Bowls as a Cowboys fan. It's going to be the Chiefs versus the Eagles. So I think I'm rooting for a meteor to come down and crash into the stadium, and just kind of just kind of pause the game. Just, maybe no injuries. That'd be horrible, but so yeah. Anyways, that's that. But I'm excited to talk about some stuff today, Ben. There's been a lot of stuff going on in the internet, in anime, and then adjacent. So yeah, but before we do that, Ben, how are things been? What's up with you? What's going on? We haven't talked in a while.
Yeah, I went back down to Corpus for the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I feel it. Hold on. I feel like we sometimes avoid where we're from, and then sometimes I just like name drop the city that I go. I
don't care. It's anyways at this point.
So for context, my old car, it broke down a couple of years ago,
mm-hmm.
and then I moved to Corpus, where it's been sitting in my dad's garage, and his wife was like, "You need to start doing something with it, or we need to find another place to put it." I was like, "Okay, that's fair." So I just spent the weekend like taking the motor and the transmission out so we can start fixing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's really I did that for like 10 hours on Saturday, and then on Sunday we were working out for like 4 hours. Today actually, and then I drove back up here.
Dang.
I'm here.
So very productive, busy weekend. Ben, are you pretty good with cars? Because I've been not having.
Think so.
That's I need to get on that, man. I couldn't even. I'm gonna be straight up honest. This is a safe space. I don't know how to change tires, so
it's easy. You just take the jacket up and then take the lug nuts off.
Yeah, exactly. But no, like I need to get better at that. Like I went to get my oil changed last weekend, and like they're always just like, you know how they are at those places. There's something wrong with this, and then I'm just like, is it really wrong? And then
do you have a Take 5 up there?
Take 5. I think that's where I went actually to take 5 to.
What did they say was wrong? All they do is oil changes.
So yeah, but they check, like he was checking my was it coolant and saying that it needs to get flushed or something like that.
Okay.
And so he was just like, yeah, he's like, you might want to get it looked at. And then I was talking on the phone with my boss man, and then he was just like, yeah, no, don't listen to him. He's just like, but I was like, it kind of seems important, but that's just how I am, I guess. I just trust too many people.
That is important.
Yeah, and it was trying to cost me 140, but then it's like, I just wish I knew how, like, to knew this stuff, to be like, yeah, I talked to some of my car friends, and they took a look at my truck, and they're just like, you're fine, dude. He's just, because whenever you're there to get an oil change, obviously, right, they're just there to look at your oil.
Yeah, but they also do fluid top-offs, so and like windshield wiper and brake and stuff for free. The only thing they can charge you for...
I don't know about free, but
the only thing they do charge you for is oil changes.
He was gonna charge me 140 for the coolant stuff, and then
they do not do that with mine.
Yeah, and then he was trying to say I needed some new air things for your air freshener, not air fresheners, but you know what I mean, the
air filter.
Air filter, correct? Yeah. So he's like, this is what you're inhaling, and it was like all dust, and I was like, yeah, I'll survive. So
They at mine they do all that stuff for free.
they do it
They're
for
like
free.
they show you my air filter and they're like,
Do you
"Does this
want a
look
new
good?"
one?
And I was like, "Yeah." No, they just blow it off. That's all you have to do to clean it.
They blow it. Oh, that's so nice. They did not do that for me. That's
And they
ridiculous.
top up my windshield wiper and they're like, "Oh, do you need coolant?" I was like, "I think I'm good, but thanks."
No, they always try and charge me. Oh my god. Oh, that's just some white privilege. No, I'm just
You
kidding.
didn't
I'm
escape.
sorry. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry. I'm joking. No, I probably am. But so yeah, like I'm saying, I just wish I was better at car stuff, like just for stuff like that. To be like so, but I mean, it's probably easy. I could go out of my way. Um, in other news, though, I did have another life update. Actually, this is great. I've started playing the bass. Oh, okay. Well, you can't see it on my camera. That's crazy. I've been playing the bass.
Oh,
So
nice.
I just got a bass. I went to Guitar Center. My friends play electric guitar, and they've been trying to get me to get a bass for a while now. And so I was like, yeah, I was like, I'll get a bass. And I went, and it was only $75. It was used. I think it's a great starter bass. My friends are really into guitar, so they took a look at it. They were like, "This is good for what you just need right now." So I've been loving it, dude. I've already know a couple riffs. I'm doing stuff like to learn how to like finger like do the finger pokes and just the the pulls.
Yeah.
So it's been fun, man. I learned. I'm yeah. I've started learning the first bit of the Chainsaw Man opening, and
Oh my
Ben,
gosh.
it is so hard. Like I know like the bump bump but and then that's just it. Because it is like fast and you gotta like oh my goodness, it's
I
crazy.
feel like that's an advanced piece
Oh,
to
it is
start off
very
with.
advanced. It is very advanced. But I want that's the only reason I got a bass to learn how to play that intro. If I'm being completely honest, so I'm gonna learn. But yeah, it's been fun. I know like 3 or 4 riffs, some practice riffs to start like moving your fingers on the fretboard and all that. So it's been fun. I highly recommend picking up an instrument just for fun. It's inexpensive. It's expensive though, unless you get a good deal like I did for only $75. And then my friend gave me a amp that you plug in a headset to, so a headset amp. So I got that for free. But I eventually
Hmm.
want to get an actual amp because it's kind of annoying having a headset on while I play,
Yeah.
just having a cord connected to it like that. So, but yeah, it's been fun. I've been enjoying it thoroughly. But I know you have a ukulele. Is that just for show? I know you can play though, right?
I learned a few chords. That's really
Mm-hmm.
it. Um, I didn't like how small it was, so I think I'm gonna start learning like the actual guitar.
You should. You should. Yeah, that's because I was thinking of getting an acoustic guitar, but
Hmm.
I was just kind of like, yeah, bass is cool. So, and then
Yeah.
I found out that they make acoustic basses too, which I didn't know about. But hmm, I figured electric guitar was definitely, or electric bass was definitely more of the type of music I want to play. So,
Hmm.
yeah, but that's just a fun little side note, Ben. Why don't we talk about some anime stuff, dude? There's a lot going on in the anime world, and I'm not gonna lie, I always get this feeling sometimes where I think I'm growing out of anime, and then something pulls me right back in, and I think I'm back in. So it's been fun just getting back into
Hmm.
the grind of everything. It's been fun. I'm caught up with all the shows that I think we're supposed to be watching. Actually, I haven't. I need to check right now. Actually, that's a good shout. I'm gonna check because I haven't looked into Anyway I'm Falling in Love with You.
Oh,
Um,
great.
but I think that's still a thing, right? So
I think it is. I think it's been going on for like 3, 4 weeks, maybe.
no, no way, really? Oh
Yeah.
goodness, at that point, maybe I might just wait for it to finish. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, you're right. It's on. Oh, it's only 3 episodes, but still, that's crazy. So yeah, I do need to watch that. Um, that's funny. But yeah, so I've been watching 4 shows. I know Ben's watching a couple others as well. So there's some good stuff out there. But before we get into all that, I think there's a couple cool noteworthy things in the news that's happened recently that I think would be fun to talk about. Ben, the first one being very silly. Kaiju number 8, Ben, is in
Oh, I heard of that.
Fortnite. Kaiju number 8 is in Fortnite. As a Fortnite
Put
expert,
Bleach in
Ben,
there, bro.
yeah, I cannot believe we got
Why
that.
is Bleach not in there?
I saw so many people being like damn, like this has to be like an industry plant anime or something like that. Just being like, how
Definitely
is
is.
Kaiju number 8 so popular? And like it because I liked Kaiju number 8,
It
but
was good.
it does feel a little weird that it's getting the most how much hype as it. I don't know if I'd say deserves, but more so than like your Chainsaw Man, your Demon Slayer. Like it's getting a whole event in Fortnite. compared to,
Yeah.
I don't know, like One Punch Man couldn't do that. One
I think it's
Piece,
just it probably has to do with the whole Godzilla thing in Fortnite. I don't know.
maybe. Yeah, the kaiju
That's the only thing I
stuff.
could think of.
Yeah, I mean that's a good shout. But I just think it's so funny because yeah, again, no hate to Kaiju no Bray. I really thoroughly enjoyed that show. I think that was one of the best shows from that dark period of anime. So that was fun. I really liked it a lot, and I liked the characters. But I think Kafka won Best Boy for you, right? So I mean, yeah, clearly we liked it. But I just think it's funny. It's just so random. So yeah, shout
It
out
is random.
shout out Kaiju no Braid, I guess. Uh, so yeah, that's that. But some other stuff, some other noteworthy things to notice. Ben, the Oscar nominations came out, and there's been a lot of buzz, particularly around a movie called Amelia Perez. But we're not going to talk about that because we're not political. But we are going
Okay.
to talk about is the fact that the best picture or best animated pictures came out, and Look Back was not on the list, unfortunately.
Interesting.
It's very sad. However, Wallace and Gromit was. I watched
All
it.
right.
I watched it with our buddies Curtis and Ryan. If you've watched our Japan vlog, or if you've just heard us talk about them before, and they love Wallace and Gromit. I could not get into it, and it was just so disappointing. I'm sorry if we have any Wallace and Gromit fans. No hate whatsoever. It's a fine British film, but I wish Look Back would have at least gotten nominated. I'm not saying I think it should have won, even though personally I think it should have. But
Surprisingly.
I know Wild Robot is probably going to win it regardless of everything. But it just would have been nice to see Look Back get nominated, man. That would have been so cool. Um, but yeah, I guess we're not there. It didn't even get nominated for international film, Ben. So that was depressing as well. So
Interesting.
so yeah, but regardless, yeah, it's that it happened. So it did not happen. So I was very upset about that, Ben, just because I love Look Back, you know that, and yeah, so there you go. But that's another big thing I wanted to talk about.
Who do you think's gonna win Best Picture?
I think it should be Dune Part Two. I think you could argue. I don't think it should be Wicked. Um, I really hope it's not Amelia Perez. But I don't know. I haven't seen all the best pictures. Um, I think I've only seen Dune, Wicked, Anora, The Substance, and A Complete Unknown. So I've seen half of the nominees.
Hmm.
But out of all of those I've seen, I think Dune Part Two deserves it. So that's another big snub. The director didn't get nominated for, or Denis Villeneuve didn't get nominated for Best Director, which is crazy. He also didn't get nominated for the first Dune, which is even crazier, or not even crazier. I guess the second one was better, so vice versa. But yeah, so it is what it is, Ben. I'm upset, but we can do nothing else but move on. So that's what we're going to do. Um, but moving on from that, I was going to ask you, Ben, with a lot of the rom coms coming back, making a big comeback this year, particularly from the fact that I started watching 100 Girlfriends That Really, Really Love You again. Ben, I need you to watch this show. It
Oh
is
no.
so funny. I watched the first episode, and I don't like, it is just so funny. Like, it is so funny. It is so self aware of the concept that it is a stupid show that it is so worth it. Like, as soon as the show starts, it starts with he's up to six girlfriends at this point in the anime. It starts off with him, all six of the girlfriends on the roof, and they're like, guys, like the honeymoon phase usually ends about 3 months, and like season one ended like a year and a half ago, and like and they're just like, so we're like way over, and just it's so funny. Like they do so many like fourth wall breaks. They talk about at the very beginning, I think they all swap like identities, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, it's like a bit from Your Name," is like what the main character says, and then he sees like this really buff guy later, and he's like, "This looks like a villain straight out of One Piece, like that Luffy would fight or something like that." It's so funny, and then like there's just bits where they're like talking about like some of their backstories, and they're like, "Ah, this is kind of like boring. So if you want more details, go read the manga or something like that." In chapter, and I was just like, "Oh, it's funny." It's like
Mhm.
it's very much self-aware that it's a stupid plot. And for those of y'all who don't not know about the show, it's pretty much about a guy who he's asked out a bunch of girls and they all rejected him, but then um But then one day he gets visited by a god, a love god, who is like who tries to help him, but the love god messes up, and then he gives the dude 100 soulmates. And pretty much the way it works is if you meet your soulmate but don't end up marrying them, that person ends up dying.
Okay.
So the guy finds this out and is like, well, I don't want any of my soulmates to die, so I'm just gonna marry all of them. And so he gets with all of the 100 girls, and so it's so funny because it's a harem, and it's a funny harem because all the girls are very have very different fun personalities. They have all the different tropes, and it's fun. It's a stupid show that I very much enjoyed. So that was really fun.
Interesting.
But I think you like it, Ben. I think it's a good I don't know, palate cleanser. I guess it's very much just it is what it is.
I don't know. I don't know.
It's not
Let's say I could
there's
do
not
it right now.
much there's not many stakes. There's not much stakes to it. So I don't know.
I
Hmm.
think the only romance I'll watch right now is Dress Up season 2.
Well, that's a good segue, Ben, because I was about to ask you, what are your expectations for My Dress Up Darling season 2? What are you hoping to get out of this season? Do you want we follow this trope of like the whole rent a girlfriend. We don't want a show to be like Rent a Girlfriend. Um, and as somebody who's now watched Rent a Girlfriend, I've seen the whole scope. I've seen everything, right? And Blue Box seems to finally be moving in a direction where I'm like, okay, we are finally getting somewhere, and I'm very hyped for it. And this episode
Hmm.
actually of Blue Box just left on a crazy cliffhanger. I know you're not watching it still, but um, it was a good cliffhanger, and so it's moving in a direction. But I don't want My Dress Up to fall into a Rent a Girlfriend situation, which I don't think it will. But like, I don't know what I want from season two.
Yeah.
No thoughts, concerns.
Do you remember that one big spoiler that came out a while ago for Dress Up that like
Hmm.
blew up? That's what I want. Season 2. I'm hoping that's the end of season 2. I don't know how far we'll get into the show though, because I
Yeah.
think I forgot how many chapters the first season um got through,
Hmm.
but I feel like since they have enough content to make an entire new season, I feel like we'll get pretty far, and hopefully that big spoiler will get animated. I think that would fulfill my needs.
You know what's crazy, Ben? I forgot what happens in that spoiler.
Totally fine.
So,
Totally fine.
so I'm
Oh, you want me
excited.
to tell you?
I really don't.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I agree. In the sense of I want something big to happen. I think we need another. We maybe no, I do need another moment like the Love Hotel scene. I do need something like that to hold me over for another full
Yeah.
2 or 3 years. So,
I feel is the manga still going on?
that's a good question. I don't know. But yeah, it'd be nice to get something like Dress Up Darling.
There are 92 chapters out.
Only 92? That's not even that much.
Wait, I don't trust the Google AI at all.
I hate Google. I hate how they added that feature, dude.
I told someone they should jump off the Golden Gate Bridge
That's not, is
because for
that
some reason
no, that was a
it
love thing though, like a dating thing, right?
no like it sometimes it takes
It takes
so
different like
all
sources,
these
right?
AI things they just like get fed the internet and so they're like free
Correct.
to browse it or whatever. And so really
That's
popular
so
Reddit
funny.
posts will come up. And so like one Reddit user says you should jump off the Golden Gate Bridge. And then they don't check that.
That is awesome. That's not awesome, but that is just it just shows you how far away AI is. But it's also very close. Oh, I didn't even mention that I did that AR VR virtual reality thing today. I talked about it last week. It was so much fun. I did not have high hopes for it, but it was a really fun time. Crazy how immersive it is. It's so fun. We put stuff on our like hands and legs, like the trackers. We put a
Mhm.
headset on with a mic like this, and then we go into a room, and then you can see everybody in the room. It's a full 360 motion capture. It is so cool. Um, I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was fun. So I highly recommend doing it if you guys ever have the chance. So yeah, that was cool. But Yeah, back to what Ben was saying about AI. Yeah, I think that's it's still very far, but AI
It's funny.
it has its uses. Definitely has its uses. Um,
Like,
figuring out information, coming up with random ideas, brainstorming
yeah,
as well, cheating on homework. Just
yeah,
kidding, guys. That was
that's
a
a
joke.
prominent one this
Yeah,
day and
but
age.
I think it's crazy how different teachers been. I don't know how it is for you, but like there were some of my professors that were very much so like, yeah, use the AI. Like if it
I mean,
works,
yeah,
which I was like, interesting. Like I remember for a film class, we had to come up with a PowerPoint presentation, and my professor was very much he's like, use AI, yeah, see what you can come up with, and I was like, oh, okay.
it varies from major to major.
I think
Like,
it's. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
at least in the classes I took, whenever we had to write a report or something, they're like, yeah, like you can use GPT. I mean, you're not taking these classes to like be an author, or
Mm-hmm.
this isn't an English major or whatever. So like the paper shouldn't be your main focus. So if you have the information to feed to it, that's totally fine. Do that, like fill in the
That's fair.
blanks.
I think it's very much like drinking, in the sense of like everything's good in moderation, and
Yeah.
I think that yeah, if for stuff like that, I personally have never used AI to write a paper or anything like because I think that's just stupid. I think
Mhm.
you're asking to fail if you're gonna have AI write a paper. But however, I have asked it to be like, hey, can you check for grammatical errors and like spelling and make sure everything's good and like stuff like that, and it usually helps out. And it's to me, I have seen a progression of making less and less of those mistakes. So it helps, I think. There's like one for me before this whole ChatGPT thing. I would always use Grammarly, um,
Mhm.
and I think it has helped improve my writing a lot. So that's just my little bit on it. I do think. What is your opinion, Ben, on using? I'm just very. I want to pick your brain about this, just because you're like a big computer guy. Um,
Mhm.
so there was a big one of my favorite movies from last year was this movie called Late Night with the Devil. It's a very good movie. It's a film that takes place about a TV studio host who interviews who performs has an exorcism live on air on his late night talk show. However, a big debacle came out of this whole movie because it's an indie movie and it had a very low budget, and it was made, it was a very low budget, and during the movie, for like the intermissions of the film, like how whenever you're on the late night show and it goes like on SNL, it has like those table cards,
Yeah.
title cards, and so they had those, and apparently those were AI generated,
Mhm.
and a lot of people in I think because it was also during the era of when all this the writer strike was going on, the actors strike. So a lot of people were very upset about it that they used AI generated title cards, and it was only the title cards
Mhm.
for the movie. And people were like, "How could you do that? Like you could have hired just anyone off of like Fiverr or anything like that." And I mean, I don't know. I personally was like, it's free, and you're already an indie movie making with a low budget. You're just trying to get through, trying to get by. But
Yeah.
I see both sides though, because obviously it's putting people out of work. But I don't know.
Well, a lot of the people in that profession, like graphic design and whatnot, most of them are like freelancers.
Yeah.
Like companies will commission you.
Hmm.
So it's hard to be like it's putting people out of work because like technically no one's really, I guess, hired. I guess I could see the point that it's like taking opportunities away from people, but at the same time, if you're tight on money, why would you pay someone to do what AI can do?
Yeah.
But on the other hand, if you're a bigger company, I don't see the point in not making use of your resources
Hmm.
to hire someone who could do a lot better job than an AI could.
Right. And to
So
the idea of people being like, "Oh, I'm gonna boycott this movie," to just say, "Oh, it doesn't get worked." I feel like you're putting out a lot of other people who did work hard on that movie at a
yeah,
disadvantage, and being like, even if they were against AI, it wasn't their fault that it was in the movie. You know, they're still trying to make a living too. So I
Yeah.
don't think it's any reason to hate the movie or to not boycott it because I think it's still an incredible movie. And you could tell like the CGI got a little rough towards the end just because obviously it was a low budget. So,
Yeah.
but regardless, I thought it was a great film. Definitely, I don't know. This whole AI thing is very weird. We live in a weird world right now,
Hmm.
so it's going to be interesting to see how things play out, especially with big changes probably coming soon in technology and whatnot.
Hmm.
So yeah, exciting. But regardless, enough of that, Ben. I think it's time we talk about some of the shows we've been watching this week. What do you say?
Yeah.
Um, so we kind of talked about. I have started watching 100 Girlfriends. I think it's a really good show. I know Ben's not watching it, so we won't talk too
Hmm.
much about it. But another show that we should talk about, Ben, that you are watching is Doctor Stone. Have you caught up?
Yeah.
Are you caught up with it? How's that going?
Doctor Stone's really good. Yeah, it's a fun show so far.
Hmm.
This season's really good.
I think I definitely need to. I need to start, Ben. I need to start watching. I need to finish Code Geass, and then I think I want to watch. I need to watch a new show. I think I want to watch Re Zero. Is that?
That's not a same take, I don't think.
I don't either. I think it'd be a fun. Is it an isekai? It is an isekai, right? I think.
ReZero,
Yeah, it's
yes.
like the isekai. I think so. I definitely want to watch it. I think I want to give it a shot. It's like 3 seasons in. I heard this new season was really good. And I want something fun to watch. So I need to finish Code Geass though. I've been hearing great things. So I'm excited to do that. But yeah, so ReZero is good. But Ben, let's go ahead and talk about Sakamoto days. I know last
Okay.
episode we kind of had our quirks and our queries about the show, but I kind of liked this episode. I liked this week's episode.
Hmm.
I'm starting to like it more, but I do think it is still falling into uh, that spy family range for what I think of
Yeah.
it as a show. But I really like this episode. I think I've gotten a little bit more time to like the characters, Shin, Lu, and then Sakamoto. And I like it. I like the world. I think it's very cool. I think it's funny how there's just kind of all these characters with wacky assassin abilities that aren't really explained.
Yeah.
It's very goofy, but I think it's fun. I
Yeah.
think it's a comedic show that it does very well. Sakamoto is really cool, and seeing how he plays off of Shin especially was really fun this episode. And
Mhm.
just seeing, I don't know, the antics ensue was fun. It was a good little, like, again, turn your brain off type of show and just enjoy. And I
Yeah.
think this week's episode was really good.
Yeah, I'm not hooked yet. I don't
That's
know. This
fair.
seems
That's
like
fair.
this seems like one of the shows that I
Hmm.
would let finish out and binge whenever it's done. Cause like week to week, my interest isn't peaked enough to be excited for the next episode.
Hmm.
Granted, it is still just starting out, and we're not really like adjusted to the
Yeah.
main storyline yet.
Hmm.
But um but yeah, usually shows I think shows should usually hook you by the first episode or the
I
end of
agree.
it. Um
Is there a show, Ben, in particular that you say
and
has hooked that has taken a long time to hook you? That is like a slow burn, and then you're like, oh yeah, is like
hmm, Bleach.
I was literally about to say Bleach too.
Yeah,
So
Bleach takes a minute for you to get hooked, but
yeah,
it's good. Like I dropped it at one point.
I did no, I
I
didn't
think I
drop it.
got like 5 episodes in and I just did not want to watch it anymore.
Hmm.
And then I think I had it playing in the background and eventually I just got hooked. But
Yeah,
yeah, I think in order for a show to do good, it shouldn't just kind of. I feel like a lot of Sakamoto Days is just people hyping up the manga and being like, "Oh yeah, you need to watch it. It's really good." And that's where it's getting.
it's hype
It's
from.
trying to hook people on, like, "Oh, the manga's good, so you need to watch it." But I think if the show doesn't do a good job
Just
of
go read
hooking
the
you,
manga.
then it's it's concerning.
That's fair.
Not that I speak for everyone, but my opinion is valid and important. Okay.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. No, I agree. I think I think it is very important. Obviously, a show needs to hook you right off the bat, but I do think there are exceptions. But those shows are usually like top tier shows. When they do have exceptions, I will say Evangelion took me a while to hook me, but then
Hmm.
now I'm a big Evangelion fan, and I think I dropped it at one point. I think I happened to Naruto. I dropped Naruto, but to be fair, I think I had only watched like 3 episodes. But
Hmm.
so I think yeah, it does. We'll see. There's still a lot of time left. It's only 3 episodes in, so we'll see. Let's give it like half the season at least. Let's give it 3 more episodes at least maybe,
Yeah.
um, before we hold our halfway judgments and things like that. But yeah, so I enjoyed it. I do hope, like Ben said, I hope we do get a big overarching plot that is eventually set out for. Um, yeah, I think that would be very nice because as things are going right now, I'm kind of just like, yeah, if it does end up just being like a villain of the week type deal, I could see how that could get old very quickly, just like how it kind of did in Spy Family. Um, so yeah, I think that's definitely something to keep note of. But yeah, that's Sakamoto days. But Ben, one show let's just talk about it. I love Solo Leveling, dude. It is so, I don't know what it is, but for some reason I'm so bought into season 2 now. I think I was just so like bored in season 1 of just him kind of just like being like weak and kind of beating around the bush. Now he's like OP and it's like it's awesome. It is so cool.
It's very good.
It is so fun. I love it. This episode was so good and I'm so upset because I waited a while until the first 3 episodes were out of season 2, so I got to binge the first 3 episodes. Now I have to wait
Yeah.
weekly, and I've just been dreading it, dude, because I don't know. Jinwoo is such a cool character. He's so OP. I love the world building that's going on with all these other S rank hunters, and now that we
Hmm.
got some lore about his dad, and now the cliffhanger that this episode ends on, Ben, with him meeting that girl finally that has been teased since like the first episode of the first season,
Yeah.
like it's hard, dude. It is hard, and then him just being there, and they're like, dude, like the literally the power, he's not on the power scale, dude. His power level's over 9,000, so
All right.
it's
Yeah, I think Solo Leveling is one of the few shows that like lives up to the hype that
mhm,
the fan base said it had before it got an anime.
yeah,
And I think it's really good. I think it lived through. I mean, for me, it lived through season one, not until the end, really. But
correct.
it was interesting enough for me to believe the people saying it was good. Um, but especially with season two, I think it's just been very entertaining, and I've looked forward to watch every episode.
I
And I
agree.
think I will continue to do so until the season is over. Um,
Absolutely.
so I think so far, this Solo Leveling season two is like the like anime of the season, I
I
guess.
agree.
I think so. Maybe there's a
It's
hidden gem somewhere, but I'm not watching that many shows.
I am so excited, Ben, for the rest of this year of anime. We get Dawn to Dawn coming back. We get the Chainsaw Man movie, Demon Slayer potentially. I mean, it is looking up, man. But before we
It
get
is.
into all that, like, yeah, Solo Leveling. I don't even know what it is, Ben, because I'm not even gonna sit here and say that Jinwoo is like that interesting of a character
He's
because
not.
he's really
He's just,
not. But I don't know what it is. There's no fan
he's just
service.
cool.
Like he's just cool. Like he's literally just a badass, and it's like he's there, and it's just he's so much aura. Like I said it last episode, this is the definition of aura. Like him just summoning all those like demons, and now he's here, and he's just like, yeah, he's in S rank. He's like, finally time to get it done. And it's interesting because I'm very curious, Ben, to see what's gonna happen because he's already about to like accomplish his goal. He needs one more item to revive his
What
mom.
happens?
And
Oh yeah.
so I'm just, oh, you know? Are you serious?
Yeah, I told you about
Oh
this.
my, that's right. I forgot you did. Dang it. That sucks. I thought we were going to be in this
I
together.
like I think I said this last week, but I
You
thought it was
did.
way farther down in the storyline, but it's actually like this whole season.
You're right.
So yeah.
You're right. That sucks. But yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I've been enjoying it. I think it's definitely been the highlight of the season so far. I was not expecting myself to be this enjoyed with the show. I thought honestly it was going to be Sakamoto Days carrying for me, but it's hasn't. So I've been liking it a lot. Yeah, it's been fun. I'm excited to see next episode with what happens. But
Hmm.
I mean, things are looking up. I really like the eeriness of everybody. It seems like there's definitely a lot of like villains, and like just underlying motives that haven't really been revealed yet. So I'm very excited to see how that plays out. But yeah, and this the whole mystery with his dad being maybe a beast or like a creature that's not human. So that might
Hmm.
have to be playing into Jinwoo's whole storyline of why he has the amount of power that he does. But I'm very, very excited to see where things go from here. So I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, that's that. Blue
Yeah.
Box we talked about. Is there any? I feel like we're missing a show now. Are we? No? Is it just those three? Or yes, two that we're both watching? Really?
Yeah.
That's
I there
crazy.
has. I think I don't know. I need to see what's coming out next season because I kind of want to watch a very like
Niche.
not relevant new show.
I agree. I think we need to find one of those because, like I said, we haven't really had one of those since Call of the Night, and that was a good one. So
Yeah,
I think I need to finish Daima, but I think I'm gonna do that once the whole dub comes out, and just kind of
that's fair. Is
breeze through
Diamond
it with
done?
the. Oh, I don't know.
Is it like 26 or
It's on episode.
what was like an entire series?
It's on episode 15.
Jeez, what could possibly be happening in that show?
I don't know,
Kid
but
Goku goes Ultra Instinct.
well, the dub's on episode 3.
3?
Yeah, so it's still got some time.
They're like 3 months behind. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Gosh, that show came out forever ago.
it does feel. I think it came out. Oh well, it says
What could I
January
have done with my
1st.
life in 15 weeks? That's crazy.
I don't know how we this. I mean, this is not a
October?
good idea for a podcast, Ben. I mean, like it's making me feel old real fast.
Yeah. Let's call it quits. Their last episode.
See you guys. Thanks all for watching. No, but have you watched? This is also kind of a tangent, but have you watched Dead Man Wonderland? I've heard good things about it.
I have not.
No, okay.
No.
I want to. I mean, I want a niche show to watch, but I guess something this season would be good. Um. Well, Ben, maybe this is your chance to watch 100 Girlfriends.
I don't want to watch that.
What?
I'm gonna comment. I can't watch. I don't think I can handle that kind of show right now.
Oh my! Did the episode just come out? Is today? Oh my god! A new episode just came out today on Sundays. That's when it comes out. Say less. I know what I'm doing tonight. That's awesome. Wait, what did you say? Sorry, you said that you don't think you
I
could.
can't. I don't. My brain can't handle a show like. I think just a romance in general.
But it's not like a serious romance. It's not like Blue Box or like My
know, but
Dress Up.
still.
Like I said, there's stakes in those shows. There's not like you don't.
It's
There's no
just like I don't
stakes.
think you can handle a romance right now.
Well,
Besides dress up,
you should watch Alia Sometimes Hides Her Feelings in Russian.
is that a romance?
Yes.
Okay, then I'm not.
Married couple. Man, you're missing out, dude. The experience. Oh, I've heard good things about that. Oh, when is Ben? When is My Hero Vigilante coming out this season or year? I
Coming
mean,
out in April,
there.
so
Wow.
spring season.
Is My Hero season? Is it 8? Is that coming out this year too?
Last season, yeah. My Hero. That's what I was telling. Like, I think the first episode we did, or the one before we went to Colorado, we were talking about all the shows that were coming out, and it was like really stacked.
Yeah, it really is.
So, My Hero's ending, Fire Force is ending,
Fire
Chainsaw
Force
Man,
2. That's
Demon
oh
Slayer,
my. Ben, what do you think?
Solo Leveling.
What's gonna be
I
anime
think
of the year?
Fire Force. I'm kidding.
I
kidding.
thought you were serious.
I think season 3 will be interesting. I definitely need to watch
I
Fire Force before it comes out.
I agree. If maybe you want to binge it
I
one
like
day or
Fire
something.
Force. It was good. All right.
You like real? That does not seem like a you show. That's so interesting.
How?
I don't know. It just seems like you think it's like stupid and like would just make fun of it.
Why did I? No, I always defend this show because people are like, "Oh, it's too much fan service," but I don't think it's fan service
No.
if it's in the manga. That's no one's asking for
So
it. It's just
let me
there.
tell you. Okay, so they make a joke about this in what is it called? 100 Girlfriends. In one of the latest episodes, they're going to compete in a food eating contest, right?
Hmm.
It's in a big arena, and the reason they're there is because one of the girlfriends loves to eat food, and so. But what happens is they have this announcer on screen, and then she's like, "Okay, I'm the announcer. Like, let me explain the rules of the food eating contest." And then it switches to the jumbotron of her explaining the rules, but it's just a picture of her like wearing nothing but a white robe that's like drenched in water, so it's like see through.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
so I even when I was watching it, I was like, why is this on the screen right now? Like I'm just looking at a girl, like the mascot of the food event in like soaking wet clothes for fan. I was like, this is fan service. And then what happens is the main character is like, or one of the girlfriends is like, why did we just see a picture of like a naked, like a girl like soaked in water? Like, what was the point of that on screen? And
Hmm.
then the mascot says, I was providing fan service because it's better than just hearing boring like dialogue on screen, is what she says. And I was like, ah, so she's acknowledging what fan service is. It's just putting something on screen. So that's something attractive for the viewers and audience to look at, which is what I think fan service is the definition of.
But it's for the fans.
Of course, it's for obviously it's for the fans, but which is what's going
But
on in Fire Force. It's for the fans to gawk at whatever that cat girl's name is.
but
So
it's already in the it's like it's
Ben, if you,
it's like
I'm a film
I'm not
minor,
saying
Ben,
it's
and I can talk.
whoa.
We can talk about the male gaze all you want, and we can get into the nitty gritty of it. But I mean,
All I'm saying is
this is fan
it's
service. Oh my
all I'm
god.
saying if it's just like what is the freaking adapting a panel from the manga,
Yeah.
that I'm not gonna say that it's not too much or it is too much, because maybe it is too much.
Correct.
But the point being is that they are putting it in there because it is from the book, not because they're like, oh, everyone likes this character,
Oh well, I
so
agree,
let's.
but regardless, that's still fan service
How though?
because even in the manga, even if it's on in the manga, there's like a like in Chainsaw Man, the famous panel of Reze and Makima in lingerie when Denji's like, "Oh, there's two girls in my head now," and
Yeah,
it's them two in lingerie laying down in a bed. I'm like, okay, this is fan service.
but it's how Denji is thinking of them because he's a
Okay, yeah, that's
sexually
fair.
vulnerable
That is fair.
boy.
That's a good counter. That was going to be my counter argument to myself. I would have just said, "That's a good counter argument. That's a good counter argument." I'm not gonna lie, but okay, then how do you justify like the
I'm
bit?
not trying to justify it. Like, I'm just saying the author drew that for
Cor-
some reason.
correct.
I don't know what it is. I'm not saying it's fan service because he's the one writing the story.
Okay, all
And
right.
though it may hold zero significance
That is what
to the
fan
plot of the
service is.
story.
Holding zero
No, wait.
significance is holding zero significance. And just having it
No.
there, just to be there, is fan
It's
service.
just that okay, but how is it fan service?
Because it is an objectively attractive character showing sexualized to get a reaction out of somebody. That is what fan service is.
Hmm.
That is what I think.
I agree that's the
Def-
definition, but I don't think that's what Fire Force is doing. I just don't.
the point with that's her name, Tamaki. Whenever she is there running, and then her clothes rip off, and then they're just out. That
That
is
actually is very important to the plot in season 3. You will find a.
okay. You know, maybe you're right. Maybe we'll have to wait and see. We'll revisit this conversation at the end of season 3 of Fire Force. You know, but we're gonna have. I hope when we're still gonna be doing the podcast, I'm gonna make sure we are. Whenever Fire Force season 3 comes around, we're going to react to each episode, and I'm going to have us take a shot every time fan service occurs on screen.
I will say this: the last season is a lot more serious than.
That's fair. I
I
really
feel
hope
like
so, man. Because I
I feel like
love.
the first season was only the really silly one. The second season was kind of getting into the details of everything.
I do need to rewatch Fire Force, man, because there were aspects of it that I really liked, but then there were aspects of it where I was just like, this is so boring. So I definitely think it was a mixed bag. But I want to give it another chance. I really do, because I love Soul Eater. I almost said Solo Leveling. I love Solo Leveling too, but I love Soul Eater so much, and it's one of the first
Yeah,
animes. One of the
I
first
forgot about
animes
that.
I watched. So I love it, and I want to start collecting the manga soon, just so I can reread it or rewatch, like
Yeah.
reconsume the media. So I honestly, that might be the next manga I start collecting. But regardless, I really like Soul Eater, and I hear that this one's connected in some way now. And I love the art design. I love the way the characters are drawn. I love this art style. I think it's very unique. Um, it does kind of give pre like Chainsaw Man vibes, to be honest, which I kind of like Tatsuya Fujimoto vibes.
Yeah.
So, especially with the main character, what's his name? Shinji? Is that his Shin? I don't know. Shin something. I feel.
What is his name?
Is it
I
not?
forgot.
Is it not Shinji or like Shinra? Shinra.
Oh,
So
Shinra. That's right.
yeah. So
Yeah, I need to rewatch it.
yeah, I definitely need to rewatch it too. Maybe I'll rewatch it and we'll come back and have this conversation again. Cause
It's a
yeah,
good idea.
maybe that'll change my
Other shows are cool.
opinions on it. So yeah,
I think I've said this before, but I want to rewatch My Hero.
I need.
It was a crazy take.
That would be very interesting. I wonder if I could actually do that.
Because ever since like season 5 or 6, I kind of got lost with the story.
I
Like I know what's
agree.
happening, but I don't.
I agree.
Um,
I want to rewatch Bleach too, but I just can't. I just can't be asked.
no, I'm not doing that.
I know that's
I'm
what
not
I'm like.
rewatching any of like those really long ones.
No, I definitely think in before my lifetime is over, I'm going to rewatch Naruto. Like
Oh, no,
at,
100%.
at
That's actually the
least,
only one I would rewatch.
yeah, at least like twice. I want to do it. Rewatch it
I
twice.
think
And
I think I'm
JoJo's.
gonna start collecting physical like discs of the shows. Because at
Oh,
first I wanted to make a server where you just download all the shows and you can watch it. But
that'd be
then
cool.
that's a lot of like
Storage.
it'd be like way cheaper, I think, because all you need is you need like a
Yeah.
computer and that's it.
And
But
you can find those movies for like the discs for cheap online, I'm sure.
yeah, like they have all the seasons and I don't know. I'm a big fan of like physical media,
I agree. So I collect vinyls. So
so I think having that would be cool.
that would be cool. And you could go
'Cause they
next to your
really have
manga
like any
shelf
show.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah, because then you could have yeah. I mean, I feel like that'd be cool having the physical copies of Bleach. But then it's like, how do you play them? Because I have like just on your PlayStation or like just
yeah. Most modern consoles
consoles.
can run that,
Yeah.
and like I haven't played one of those in a while, but like on the old like movie CDs or whatever,
Hmm.
I'm assuming it's the same with these. It's just like you
Yeah.
put it in, there's like a menu, and you can choose which episode. I'm assuming it's like that,
Hmm.
but yeah,
I think so.
that'd be cool. I think I'd definitely get Naruto for that
I
and
agree.
Bleach. I don't think I get any like the smaller shows,
Oh,
but I know at
I'd get
Anime
Dragon
Frontier
Ball. You should get
they
Dragon
had
Ball.
Blue Lock.
I'd get Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, that's actually a good one too.
Yeah, they did have Blue Lock. I saw it was so funny whenever I started watching 100 Girlfriends again. I keep bringing this up. Um, I started whenever I started the first episode of season 2, the Bandai Namco thing played, and I was like, "Am I watching Blue Lock right now?" So I was literally getting PTSD. I was like, "Oh my god, I'm hyped," and then I was like,
You
"Ah,
know,
it's 100 Girlfriends."
I think I just need to rewatch stuff now. I really want to rewatch SAO. I really like SAO.
Ooh, that's not a see. There's so many good anime I want to rewatch too. I realized, I haven't even watched. I was looking at my anime list.
Yeah,
I haven't even watched 100 anime yet.
I think I'm like 112.
But there's like so many I want to rewatch too. Like, I want to rewatch Assassination Classroom because I need to give, I haven't watched season 2. I need to give it a fair shot. Um,
Yeah.
but there's just so much, like, I'm always like, I'm kind of bored of anime, but then I'm like, there's so much I can rewatch and there's so much I need to watch too. Like, Erased, I want to watch. I told you, like, there's Dead Man Wonderland. I need to watch Steins Gate. I've been hearing incredible things about that. I hear it's a slow burn, but I hear it's amazing. So I don't know what I'm doing with my life. I need to just get everything together. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, there's a lot of stuff I want to watch. Um,
Have you watched Food Wars?
No, that's another one. I've heard there's
Food
a.
Wars is unironically really
I've
good.
heard that it's good. I've heard, but it's long, isn't it? Isn't it like 3 or 4 seasons?
I think whenever I was watching it, there was a season going on. I think it was a
Mhm.
fourth. But you know the whole like the bit of it, right? Like it's like
It's
weird.
Isn't it like they're just like very like orgasmic, right? About food cooking.
Yeah, like they'll eat food, then they'll just like have an orgasm.
Yeah, I've heard it's like the food version of kakaguri. So
Yeah, like their clothes like explode off in their
their
mind.
clothes explode.
Like,
That's funny. I know there's a JoJo reference. That's why I was very
there
um,
is. I remember that.
very excited for it. But yeah, there's a lot of good anime, man. We gotta get it. We gotta get out there. So yeah, back to but if you do start rewatching stuff, let me know what you rewatch, man.
I think it. How long is SAO? I really want to watch SAO.
Would you watch all of it, like seasons 1, 2, 3?
Yes,
Like,
I love all of it. I don't know why
Allocation.
everyone hates. I think season 2 is really good. I don't know why everyone hates it.
See, I feel like what's good too about rewatching is that if you want to make it easier for yourself, you could watch it dubbed. Just because you could have it on in the background and just kind of be like, oh, I remember that, like the refresher.
I think SAO is one of the few shows I would watch dubbed just because of Captain Brooke.
Yeah. Asuna's voice actress isn't bad either.
Yeah. It's also the movies.
Oh, that's
Forgot
right.
about that.
I need to watch the movies still. There's so much I need to watch. Ugh, I hate this.
I think I'm gonna rewatch SAO.
Well, I think this is a good place to wrap it up, Ben. Because I really need to use the restroom.
That's fair.
So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for watching episode 110 of the Otaku Brothers podcast. I think this was actually a pretty good episode. We talked, we discussed a lot of good stuff coming up. So, thank you all for watching this week, and we will be with you all next week for episode 111, 111. That's impressive. So, yeah, thank you guys so much. We love you guys, and we'll see you all next week. Arrivederci.
Bye.